Hey, what's up, everybody? Come on in, share the video. We are live on Facebook. I wanted just to send a word out to those who are leaders, whether you're a leader in pastoring, a bishop, an apostle, there's whatever position you carry or the title of a leader. You may be a leader in your job, leader in the classroom, leader wherever you may be, a leader in your community. I want to just talk briefly for a moment to give an encouraging word for leaders. So if you are a leader and you know other leaders, please tag them in this video, share this video with them, because we want to encourage leaders. And I want to hit 3 points and I want to get out of here. Point number 1 is that many people don't know what leaders face. There is, the Bible talks about there is double accountability and double responsibility when you're in a position of leadership. And the thing about it is that there is a lot of people that are in positions of leadership and they are feeling the weight sometimes of what they have accepted when they say yes. I always tell people this: the easiest part to your calling and your destiny is your yes. But the hardest part is now being committed to the yes. Anybody, it takes a lot for someone to boldly stand and say yes to the will and to the way of God. But it takes an even stronger person to be committed to the yes. Because when you understand when you are called to something, you're called to ministry, you're called to greatness, you're called for more. A lot of times is that we have not been around people that were even past the part of saying yes or commitment. And so you get to a territory of the unknown. And so you're pioneering something. But the thing about pioneering a lot of times is that when you're pioneering something, that means there's a lot of times you feel alone because no one has been to that way or down that road that you have been before. And so God will send forth encouragement words along your journey as you are pioneering. One thing about you being a leader, you got to be the leader that God has created and designed you to be. One thing about it, when God made you and formed you in his likeness and his image, he formed you in that in a way that you know who you are. Listen, everybody's church should not be the same, but we all have the same purpose, the same goal, and the same message. But we have different ways and methods that we bring forth that message or bring forth that thing. And so you got to be true to what God has called you to be. A lot of times is that what's happened is that people took on their false identities and they have tried to mask identities by what they thought was churchy or what they thought was right. And what happens is that people become lost and you lose your momentum, you lose congregations like that because you don't have an identity, you don't have a sound, and so you lose a lot of things about that. Every church should have an identity and every church should have a sound. And if you don't have your identity and you don't know your sound as a ministry, your ministry will be lost in the shuffle. And those who God has ordained and called for your ministry, they can never come because they can't hear you nor they can see you. And so for someone to be drawn or to gravitate to a ministry, they have to hear it first, and then they will see it. And a lot of times, listen, your sound comes before the sight. What are you saying? Listen, you want to develop your sound before you get the masses, before you get the brand new building. You got to have a sound. What is the sound? What is the sound of the house? What is the sound of the leader? And every church should have a sound. Your sound is a part of your vision. Amen. Listen, your church need to have a vision. This is for leaders, and this primarily is for people who are called in leadership. What is the vision to the ministry? What is the goal that God has raised this ministry up that is needed for that region that no one else is bringing forth? Not because they can't do it, but because they're not ordained to do it. And you have been ordained and strategically placed where you at for a time such as this. And so when you are ordained to do something, guess what? Then there should be no one else doing it. And it should not be an inconvenience that no one else is doing it, but it should be motivation that, listen, that God has called me. He formed me. I had to go through all this hell just to do this one yes to operate in a call that I've had my whole life. You've been called to do something. You've been called to reach somebody. You've been called to build something up or to tear something down. And so when you become true to your call, it's my say I got to be true to my call. I got to be true to me. A lot of times people are not true to themselves. They're fake to themselves. And when you're fake to yourself, you will hurt yourself. And you hurt yourself, you will slow yourself down. Don't slow yourself down trying to be fake in this season. You are called to do something great. You are called to do something mighty. Listen, people will come and go. People will smile in your face and tell you how much they love your ministry and how much you done bless them, and then they will disappear on you. But those who God will send you those that be like pillars. Though God will send you those that will raise your arms like Moses had. God will send you those people that will be like your Silas to your Paul. They will be your Aaron to your Moses. God will send people that will have your back. God will send you a John in the midst of your persecution. God will send you, my God in heaven, your help when you say, I can't feel like I can't get no help up in here. Sometimes you can look up and to the heels of what's coming of your help and get some help. Listen, being a leader is sometimes you will cry, you will laugh, you will celebrate, you will bury. There's a lot of things that goes with being a leader. Sometimes you feel like throwing in the towel. Sometimes you feel like quitting. Sometimes you feel like walking away from the call that God has called upon your life. Sometimes you ask God, did you call me? Really, this me, God? I don't know, God. I don't sound like everybody else. I don't look like everybody else. And that's why he called you, because you are you. Because you don't sound like everybody else, because you won't conform to religion, because you won't conform to the traditions of man, because you won't conform and be confounded by the ways of the world. But you are someone who will be righteous, and you will stand upright, and you will speak the truth. We are in the end times, and meaning, listen, it's going to be more. It's not going to be that many packed houses in the initial part of your ministry. Don't look for the packed house. Look for that house that's full of glory. Can I get a witness in here today? Listen, your successful ministry is never determined by numbers. Successful ministry is determined by how faithful you was to God. That's how successful ministry is determined. Was you faithful to the call of God? Was you committed to what God has called you to be? Or did you serve the best that you could to the best possible ability that God has given you? That's called true servantship. A great servant will become a greater leader. Am I making sense today? So I just want to give that word out to y'all. I love y'all so much. May God have a blessing upon your life. Put a smile on your face. Today is your day. Love you.